You see, nature has been created in a way that every food has its own season. I think we understand that there is time for everything. There is time for everything. Let me give you an instance. In the morning hours, you could see the sun rising. And when it's getting evening, you can see the moon taking over. There is time for rainy season and then a time for dry season. You can see a time that the crops start growing. And you can see that some crops do well in rainy season, while some crops do not do well in rainy season. Some do well in dry seasons. This tells us that there is time for everything, and everything has been created in its own way. Now, why I'm saying this is that I want to, draw our attention to one of the things that is likely to be causing diseases. You see, I always say certain things, but it looks as if these things this boy is saying, he just wake up, maybe he drink and then he just start talking. Some of the things I say, when you will find out is the only time you will find out is when you sit down and try to see if you find solution according to what you think. Then when you go, you will now come back. You will come and meet what I have said. And as long as you find solution, you will see what I have said in it. So, because things have been created and positioned in the way they should be, each one you try to force, each one you try to, try to invoke it or push it to work faster than the way it has been programmed, then you are causing harm. I am not a farmer, but this wisdom can be applied to even farming and other, aspects of life. But for today, I am channeling it to the farming side, to food, to crops, to what we eat. There is time where we plant things, and each food has a time it does well. Now, let me use for instance, if I think I have an idea that tomato does well in dry seasons. And then because of this dry season, this dry seasons it automatically tries to interpret to you that in dry season you will get this tomato, and probably it is in dry season that when you eat tomato, it will do well in your body. There will be some medicinal cures it will provide in your body. But now, because you love tomato, when you tested it in the dry season, you now want to go and take it in rainy season. Probably when you tested it was around maybe within the Gregorian calendar in November, December period, probably. And then you now want to also enjoy it around March or April. And definitely because this is not a season, it probably will not produce as much as expected, or some crops will not even produce at all. And then you want to go and devise means to force that crop to start growing. You are automatically forcing nature. You are automatically invoking a disease on yourself. And I can tell you that as long as you eat that food, something somehow will be wrong in that food. And if it is wrong in that food, it will be wrong in your body. I believe by now you should be taking your minds back to the things, the foods we eat in wrong seasons. Because nature, who have made this food in their seasons, knows that that is the best time for us to take it. That is the best time for us to take them. So when we try to take them in the wrong seasons, we're also trying to invoke diseases. We're also trying to attract diseases. You may get the food. You can see some people will use chemicals to push it, to boost it and do this and do that. Or even maybe the seed is supposed to only produce maybe 10 pieces, or depending on the 10 grains, depending on the kind of a crop it is. And then you use the chemical, you use some certain things to push it, manipulate it, make it in a way that it will now produce in that wrong season. And not just to produce in that wrong season, it will now produce in multiples, more than what it's supposed to produce. My dear, I don't need any doctor to tell me that you are just taking in disease. And some of these things are what is in the market already that we eat. And this is the genealogy of some diseases we're experiencing. This is the root of some diseases we are having today. That is why you will go forth and come back. You will not know this. You will go forth and come back, and before you find out the source, of course, you can see the white. There is nothing you will take to the white that they will not give it a name. But we all believe that, yes, that is the name, that is it. But the truth of the matter is that how come these people, anything you take to them, they will have the name, they give it a name, even this kind of description I gave now, and you think they know it. So they just give a name, but before you know it, 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2, the person will still die. And sometimes, even if it is the right one they know, before they will take the person or even gather money to fly the person away, the person is dead. And now, with a normal sense, you can never think that it is this thing that have taken this person's life. You can never ever imagine or trace this side. And of course, the fastest side we trace is, oh, his brother hates him, his family do this, he's from the village, his ancestors, his village people, village people. You see, we just try to hang it somewhere. Innocent people who don't know, but you have forced these crops. You have forced these crops, and you think they will just produce normal for you. You think they will still produce health for you. So these are one of the ways by which we take in disease, but we don't know. It's natural, but you have forced it. You have forced it out of its own season and even out of the way it's supposed to grow. Some of them are supposed to maybe take their time to grow so that they can generate the enough nutrients needed for you. But no, you have forced it. Boom, 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 everywhere. Cassava full everywhere. Tomato full everywhere. The beans full everywhere. The yam everywhere. But meanwhile, it's not natural. It's not natural. It has shifted from its nature. So definitely there will be repercussion. There will be health hazard in it. So I wish some of these let me say known people, maybe celebrities or even government can picture this. But no, as long as we produce those things and we can see it with our eyes, we're not thinking the effects. How come this thing that is not supposed to grow like this in this season is now growing like this? How come we're having multiples of this when we know that this thing does not produce more than this in a particular period of time? These are some of the things that causes certain diseases in us, but we don't know. And we have to put our attention into it in order to be safe in this world.